pancake.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
It's that time of year again.
Yep, the holidays are over and I'm now back at university, which meant I spent a lot of time packing and getting ready for the academic year. That being said, I still managed to make a ton of progress on the game. So, let's get into it. If you watched to the end of the last video, you would have noticed the long list of tasks I had written down, which all needed to be completed before the demo. And so that's what I started plowing through this week. I began by improving all of the UI and started with the supply crates. For my game, I wanted minimalistic buttons, which also appeared to be 3D when pressed. I then needed to model a low poly gold coin and gem, and then use them as icons for the purchase buttons. For the skip to refill button, it was important that the icon and text together align to the center, because the time constantly changes. Lastly, I used animation events to trigger sound effects when opening up and closing the supply crates. Next, I moved on to the UI in the inventory and finished off the menus for throwables and consumables, which now show the quantity, more statistics, and only allow equipping once you have at least one of that item. I then needed to work on properly fitting each weapon on the weapon rack. The reason why this was an issue in the first place is because each weapon's origin and pivot point is located at the position where the player holds it. When the weapon is simply instantiated on the rack, it therefore appears to be incorrectly offset. In order to overcome this, I used the center from each weapon's box collider, which calculates the actual center of the weapon model, and then offset the local position by half of it. As for the character, I again updated the UI, however then felt it still wasn't clear enough to show when the outfit you currently had equipped wasn't actually unlocked. So I added a locked icon in front of the player when any of the wearables you currently had selected were not in your inventory. I then added several idle animations, which randomly trigger while in the base camp, and generally just liven up the scene a bit. Now it was finally time to start working on the final physical section of the base camp, the world map, for selecting missions. When you press on the map, it views the different continents. Those grayed out with lock items in front of them are locked, and can be naturally unlocked by progressing through the game. When you press on an unlocked continent, you'll be shown all of the different N.E.S.T locations. I designed the system in such a way that allows me to really easily add new missions to the game. And because each mission is tied to a physical location, I thought it would be a great opportunity to teach players about the different countries and their capital cities around the world, because there probably won't be more than 196 different levels in the game. When you click on a mission, you are presented with a menu to attack. If you have already attacked and destroyed the N.E.S.T, however, you'll still be able to re-attack it, but you'll face a loot penalty in order to prevent players from being able to infinitely replay and exploit easier missions for extra gold. Next, I joined all the missions on each continent together in their respective order, and also added a pulsing effect to show which mission you are currently on. With that all in place, I moved onto the default view and added a button to allow players to continue where they left off, to prevent them from always needing to manually find where they were. I then added a statistics panel, which also doubles down as a draggable button for the top side menu. The settings panel allows players to very basically configure the game and access some relevant external links. The achievements panel includes a list of unlockable achievements, and by clicking on an achievement, it rotates around and shows the reward, as well as what is required of you to achieve it. The store panel allows you to buy in-game items using real currency. Lastly, the profile panel will display the player's statistics, however will mainly be used when I add multiplayer in a later update to the game. But that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed or learned something, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to follow along on the development of this game. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.